First, what is knowledge model? What is knowledge model? A knowledge model is a template, and a knowledge model is a template, and they're predefined or user defined. There are some steps will be there. That is called a knowledge model is a template or step-by-step process. A knowledge model is a template or step-by-step process. A knowledge model is a template or step-by-step process for our customized or standard requirement. Standard requirements. So this is a knowledge model is a template or a step-by-step process for our customized or standard requirements. There are 6 types of knowledge models. There are 6 types of knowledge models. One is RKM, that is reverse engineering knowledge model. Reverse engineering knowledge model. So this is we are using only for customized reverse engineering. This is we are using for customized reverse engineering. Second one, there is a type called LKM, that is loading knowledge model. So this is we are using an interface source to staging. Only source to staging. That is loading data from source to staging. This LKM job is always source to staging. Whatever you have a source, whatever you have a staging. That is called LKM job is always loading. That is selecting data from source, loading into your staging area. That is any staging table. Then CKM, that is checking knowledge model. Checking knowledge model. So this is for data quality check. Data quality check for constraint related data. Constraint means primary key or surrogate key, or you can say unique constraint or null constraint. So if you have any data that is duplicated data from your source, you want to validate and you want to reject the data. So that is called data validation related to constraint, not for customized data validation. CKM will work only for data validation related to constraint, that is duplicate related data. So that is CKM knowledge model. Validating constraint related data, constraint related data, staging. Okay. Then there is another one called integration. Integration. So this knowledge model we are using for integrating data from staging to target. Integrating data from staging to target. Staging means whatever you have a staging, whatever you have a target. Okay. That's it. In interface, loading data from staging to target. This is always staging to target. There is another type called JKM, generalization knowledge model. So this is we are using for only CDC concept. This JKM we are using for only change data capture. Okay, this JKM we are using for this JKM we are using for only CDC implementation. How to extract data from source, that is only change data. So that time we'll go for CDC, that is change data capture. We'll capture only change data from source. That time we'll go for generalization process, that is called JKM knowledge model. Then SKM, service knowledge model. This is any services integration, that is web services or any public web services tools. If you want to integrate SOA or if you are going for data services, so that time we will go for SKM, service knowledge model. Service. This SKM will use for only services integration. Okay. So this is the list of 6 types of knowledge model Oracle providing. First one, RKM, that is we are using for customized reverse engineering. Then these 3 will use an interface. That is, interface is an object in ODI, that is same as mapping in your Informatica or any other tools. That is, we will call as mappings. Mappings or interface, both are synonyms only. Okay. Then if you go to folder, project folder, there you can find one object called interface. Interfaces is an object we are using for to load data from source to target. So there we need a 3 knowledge model. That is loading, selecting data from source and loading into your staging. Then CKM, that is data quality checking related to only for constraint. The knowledge model we are using in interface again, validating data on staging. Then after data validation, you need to load data from staging to target. So that time we will go for integration, that is IKM. So here we should know what is LKM. First we should know what is LKM. This is have a source. This is my target. Inside target I have a staging. Have a staging scheme, I can say. Source, target, warehouse. This is my staging scheme. Done. First I will extract data from source, then I will load into my staging. That data selection and inserting into staging we are using for knowledge model called LKM. Okay. So here we are using LKM, that is loading. So what is exactly LKM process? LKM process. Step 1. LKM will drop $C table if already exist in staging. So entire ODI we have a dollar tables here, that is for your staging process. First, step 1, It will drop $C table if already exists. Second, LKM will create $C table same as source table structure. Source table structure in staging. Okay.
What is C table?
It's a staging table actually. ODI level, we are maintaining staging tables.
Different table in ODI, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are the contents stored at the C table?
Then LKM will select data from source table, and it will insert into $C staging table. So this is complete process for your $C. So whenever you are selecting data from source to staging, ODI, if some ODI is working as a, all staging is working at dynamic, that is runtime. So ODI will create all staging tables at runtime. Then it will load data into staging table. Then the data will process from staging to your target. After finishing your data loading, it will drop again staging table. Whenever you are going for next load, again it will try to create staging tables if not exist. If already exists, it will use the same table. So that is the process for either ODI process. So the staging tables here, default Oracle is providing $C. $C means first source data will be there, that is source structure will be there in the $C. For example, your source table is, there is a orders table, it will create a $C underscore orders table. Okay. Example, source table orders, then staging table $C underscore orders. So it will create a staging table as $C underscore orders. Okay. Then, so there are different methods. Normally it will take the name from your target table, that is whatever you have a target table name, and it will assign your $C. That is if you are going for only one source. There are different sources, means it will create a number of $C. For example, you have a 3 source table. Okay, different source system. So it will create a 3 $C tables. That is called, depending on your source, it will create a $C table. Depending on your source, it will create a $C table. So this is complete IKM process. This is complete IKM process. Sorry, LKM. So here it will select data from source, then it will load into your $C table. So that is LKM. So your job is, LKM job is done. Next IKM. So there is one more staging table. There is one more staging table, $I table. There is one more staging table called $I table. So from $C to $I, that is a knowledge model called IKM for integration. Okay, there is a IKM called integration. Next, IKM, integration knowledge model. Integration knowledge model. This IKM, it will do? It will create one more table called. $I table, that is we will call as integration table. Then it will select data from $C table and it will load into your $I table. There it will do all transformation. $I table is we are using for all your integration, that is because all your custom validations or any standard transformations. So all this transformation will applicable in this $I table. Source table is simply so same as your source table. Dump, that is called your $C table. $C table always you can say it's a source table backup. Why? Because you don't want to every time interact with the source table. So simply we will select data from source and we will keep into your $C table as a dump. Then while integration, that is your transformations, that time we will use this $C to $I. Okay, $C to $I. Then if you say IKM process, IKM process. Step 1. IKM will drop $I table if already exists in staging. Then IKM will create $I table same as target table structure with additional one column, that is update indicator. Okay. The third step, IKM will select data from $C table and it will insert into $I table and flag as N for all records. Fourth step. Okay. First, IKM, what this will do? It will select data from $C table and it will load into your $I table, and all records default flag as N. Default flag as N. N means new rows, you can say new rows. Then IKM will validate on target table based on primary key or unique key. If data does not exist in target table, it will update flag as I for insert. If update key data is available in target table and there are some changes in target, there are changes compared to target table, it will update flag as U for update. If there is no changes in data, it will maintain flag as N, that you can say useless rows. So this is IKM process. Why? Because whenever you are data integration, the data first you should check in target table. For example, you are loading orders data. that particular order exists in target table or not. If already exists, first we need to check any changes are there. Any changes are there. If there is any changes, it will update as flag as view. Why? Because we don't want to insert, we need to only update. Then, if for example that order itself not exist in target, so that time it will update as I for updating into target table. Then, for example, the data is exist in target table, there is no changes. There is no changes. You received the same data, whatever earlier you received. So that time we don't need to load again, right? Because any changes are there, we have to update in target. Otherwise, we don't need to update any data in target table. So that is called useless rows. Useless rows. You can say useless rows. So this is complete IKM. IKM will update data into target table based on flag equal to u. Then sixth, IKM will insert data into target table based on flag equal to I. Okay. IKM will select data from idler table and it will insert into target table based on flag is I. If flag is U, it will update data into target table based on flag is U. So this is the complete IKM process. This is complete IKM process. IKM will update data into target table based on flag equal to U. So that is. We will select data from idler table and it will update into target table based on flag equal to U. Same. Select the data from idler table and it will insert into insert data into target table based on flag equal to I. So this is complete IKM process. After finishing data integration, it will drop idler table based on our option drop in temporary table. Okay, so there is option. If you want to maintain temporary tables, you can maintain. If you want to drop, you can drop. So that is one more option. Based on your option, you can maintain your staging tables if you need. Otherwise, you can delete your staging table. So this is complete your IKM process. So this is complete IKM process. IKM, what this will do? It will load data from your idler table to target table. There is my target schema. There is my target schema. Okay. Here it will load data from staging table to target table. IKM. So this is your IKM process. This is my target table. This is your source. Source to staging, that is your LKM. Selecting data from source table to $C table. So that LKM process always source table to $C table. Then next, $C table to I table to target table. That is complete IKM process. $C table to I to target. You can say LKM is always source table to $C table. Then IKM $C table to I table and I table to target table. So there is one more type called CKM. There is one more type called CKM. CKM, there are two types. CKM, there are two types: flow control and static control. Flow control and static control. CKM, there are two types. That is CKM first. Flow control I will explain. So this flow control will validate on your I table. If I table having any duplicate records, it will delete from I table and it will insert into E table. There is one more table called E table. That is creating E table and SNP check tab table for errors for data quality check. Okay. Then validating data at I table before inserting into target table. If I table having any duplicate rows, it will delete from I table and it will insert into E table, and a common error message number and the interface name it will insert into SNP check tab table. So SNP check tab is a common interface error table. This table will have all interfaces rejected, not all interfaces, error number, error message. But E table will create based on your interface target table name, and based on your interface target table name, and all structure will be your I table structure. E table will maintain structure as your I table structure, and SNP check tab is a common error table for all interfaces table. So this is a one table for all interfaces. This is a one table for all interfaces. It will create only one table. But E table will create every interface new $e table. Every interface it will create new $e table. So this is called CKM flow control. Flow control means before inserting into target table, it will insert into your $e table if $e table having any duplicate records or null rows, based on your constraint, that is unique constraint or primary key or surrogate key. So this is your flow control. Then if you are talking about the static control, there is one more type called static control. CKM static control. So this is all the same process, but it will validate on idle compared to flow control. Normally flow control will validate on idle table before inserting into your target table. But static control, this will validate on target table, that is after inserting data into target table, it will validate on target table. Then if target table having any duplicates or null rows, it will insert into $e table, and the same SNP check tab table, it will insert common error number, error message, then interface name, what is the table. So that information it will see in your SNP check tab table. Okay. Same, this is also creating $e table and using common SNP check tab table. CKM static control will validate data on target table, that is after inserting data from $e to target table, it will validate on target table. If target table having any duplicate or null rows, it will identify and it will insert into $e table. The common error number, error message, interface name, table name, it will insert into SNP check tab table. But it is not deleting data from target table. So always this flow control and static control. Okay, if you are talking about flow control, static control, and static control, flow control will validate on your $e table, but static control will validate on target table. Okay, but flow control will delete data from $e table, but static control, it is not deleting any data from target table. It is for information only. We are using static control. We are using only for information. This is we are using only for information. To know duplicate rows. In target table. So this is, we are using for only information to know how many duplicate rows in target table, but it is not deleting data from target table. Note, this static control we will use if target table don't have a physical primary or unique key constraint. Okay, this static control we will use if target table don't have database level, that is you can say DB database primary key or UK constraint. Okay, for example, if you are already having your database primary key or unique constraint, you don't need to use static control flow control. Why? Because database, it won't allow insert primary duplicate records into your target table. That is, static control we can use if target table don't have any constraint, that is database level. I'm talking about database level. So this is the difference between CKM process flow. Okay. So here your $e table, say then from $i table to $e table, which one it will validate? That is flow control. Flow controls. Okay. Then for target table to $e table, for target table to $e table, that is static control. That is static control. So this is complete process for your knowledge model. LKM, CKM and IKM. LKM, CKM, IKM. Source table to C dollar table, that is LKM. C dollar table to I dollar table to target table, your IKM, Then data validation. There are two types of data validation. One is flow control at I dollar table. Another one is static control on target table. So static control we will use if target table don't have a constraint in DB level. So flow control we will use at I dollar table. This is a common data validation. Okay. validating on $i table before inserting into target table. Validating $i table before inserting into target table. Okay, so this is complete CKM, IKM, LKM. So this is complete 3 knowledge models we will use in mapping. So here,
But IKM also used for inserting the data from $i table to the target table, right?
yeah, same IKM we will use.
Yeah, at the same time CKM also doing the same thing, but it is validating.
Yeah, first your IKM will load the data from $C2 to $i. Okay.
Yeah.
After loading data into $i, your CKM will come into the picture.
Okay.
So
Okay.
your CKM, if you are using flow control, your CKM will validate data on $i table. After finishing your CKM, then your IKM will load the data from your $i table to target table.
Okay. So, okay, in the middle it's validating the data. So
Yeah,
after
again,
validation,
yeah, middle it will come into the picture. So
okay.
that's why I maintain, see here, arrow marks $C to $i, then $i to $e if you are using flow control. If you are not using flow control, you don't see any other things. Static control,
So what is the
target table to $e table.
okay? But the thing is here after target table again arrow would be represent to the E dollar table. So what is the meaning?
That is static control. It will validate on target table. If target table is having any duplicate rows, it will select data from your target table and it will insert into $e table. That's why I explained here. CKM static control will validate on target table after inserting data from $i table to target table. It will validate on $i table.
So
Yeah.
yeah, CK I mean flow control basically validating in the $1 table, right?
Yeah, $i table.
$i table, right?
Yeah.
So it is validating before inserting the target,
Yeah.
but static control after inserting the target table it is validating. Is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So based on your requirement,
So
if you want to go for flow control, you can go for flow control. If you want to go for static control, you can go for static control. Okay?
so finally our aim would be target table, right? So again, why it is back to the dollar table after
No,
inserting after validating the target table?
no. For the information only, if you want to know if target table is having any duplicate records, that time you can use static control. Okay? That's why I'm saying that. If you have a
Okay. Yeah.
requirement, how to identify data in target table, is there any duplicate records? So you can use static control.
Okay.
So flow
Okay.
control is like normal data integration. Flow control is normal data integration. That is before inserting into a target table, it will validate. So that's why I explain the
Okay.
note
So
also
what?
here. Static
Yeah.
control we will use if target table don't have a database level primary key or unique constraint. Primary key or unique constraint. If we have a primary key or unique constraint, it is not required. Static control is not required.
Okay. But what is the purpose E dollar table finally?
EDALA table is rejected data only.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Error table, that is
Okay.
rejected data, that is error data. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is complete LKM, IKM and CKM process steps. LKM, IKM and CKM. So here CKM flow control. $i table to $e table. $i table to $e table or static control. Target table to $e table. Okay. So this is CKM flow control means IDALR table to EDALR table, or static control means target table to EDALR table. So EDALR table is a error table data. So this is complete KM's process at your mappings. KM's process at your mappings. So LKM, IKM, LKM, IKM, CKM process. So you are clear this? Okay. So once if you are clear this knowledge model LKM, IKM and CKM, we can go for starting with interfaces. That is called mappings. Because if you understand the LKM, IKM process, then we can start with interfaces. So, okay, if you don't know this, like if you're not clear with KMs, so don't go for interface. Why? Because you can't understand background process. You can't understand your mappings background process. So that's why I'm explaining before starting interfaces what is LKM, what is IKM, what is CKM. If you know this process, because ODA the staging tables is creating at runtime. So we are not creating manually any staging tables. Normally, if you are going for a normal data integration using any programming language, what we will do? First, we will design our staging tables, how many staging tables are required. Then we will select data from source and it will insert into staging tables. Then we will validate data on staging tables. Then we will load into target table. That is a common process. But in ODI, we are not creating any staging tables. You have a target database, you have a source tables and target tables. Staging tables will be created at runtime by ODI. Staging tables will be created at runtime using, that is Oracle Data Integrator at runtime using knowledge models. That is called LKM from source to $, IKM, $, to $, then $, to target table. There is one more called CKM. CKM will validate data. If it is a flow control, it will validate on $, table. If it is static control, it will validate on target table. So static control we will use if target table don't have a database table level primary key or unique key. So this is called complete LKM, IKM, CKM process. So there is another JKM and SKM. So JKM we are using for CDC, change data capture. SKM we are using for web services. So this JKM I will explain. So when we are working on CDC concept, so there is a separate concept called CDC. So that time I will explain how JKM will work on CDC. SKM I will explain you at the time of services integration, web services. Okay. I think RKM we already covered for customized reverse engineering. So now we need to work on LKM, CKM and IKM. These three will start together while working on interfaces. I think the next class will start with interfaces. There we will see how we will utilize this LKM, IKM and CKM. These three we can use this our interfaces. So next class I will explain, like I will start with interfaces, then we'll use this knowledge models one by one. Okay. Okay. So any other doubts regarding this LKM, IKM and the CKM?
No, today I will go through each topic, and if I do have that, I will clarify.
Okay.
The next.
So I think next tomorrow we will start with interfaces. There you will come to know complete process for LKM, IKM and CKM.
This is also called ODI architecture. Is this?
Yeah, this is ELT architecture. Same source to target. Inside target there is a staging, then target.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.